Shalom, shalom, Israel. Giving all praise to the Most High and the Son Yahushua. We're the Battle Axes of the Most High. Coming back on the Thursday night or Thursday morning class of time to stop playing the games, man. I hope all is well with everybody that's up right now. We can go ahead and jump straight into this thing. Name of the title is "What's Done in the Dark Will Come to the Light." Because I know a lot of times with us being in this truth, we tend to get complacent. Because I know we're like, hey, we got this truth, we ain't got to worry about nothing or whatnot. Or we think that we have a free will to sin. But hey, when it come down to all that sin that y'all doing behind closed doors, the Most High God, He'll always reveal that thing. Hey, He'll make a public example of you after a while. So the first precept we're going to get is Sirach 23 and 19. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 23, and verse 19. Such a man only feared the eyes of men. So, like, some men, they only fear the eyes of men because, hey, they like, hey, I'm trying to worry about my reputation or whatnot. Or, like, I can still hide certain things from them because, hey, they're men. But let's read on. And know it not the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So, like, you may think that you're getting away with it when it come down to, like, men or whatnot, trying to be men pleasers or trying to hide your sin from, certain men. But when it come down to the Most High God, hey, He see all those things because, hey, He can read your thoughts. And you can't read every man's thoughts, but when it come down to the Most High God, best believe He know the deepest secrets that you have out there, or that's inside your head, should I say. And it says, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. Going into like the deep dark secrets that y'all got, hey, the Most High God, He knows about them because, hey, He the one who created you. Alright, next precept we can go ahead and get is Proverbs 15 and 3. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding evil and good. So when it come down to the Most High God, that's another precept for it, but like when it come down to the Most High God, His eyes is in every place. Because it's not only His eyes that's just sitting there looking at you. He got His angels that's watching you as well. And He see the evil that you're doing, and He see the good that you're doing. So hey, however you want the Most High God to see you, best believe, hey, He gonna reward you for that thing. Next precept we can go ahead and get is Job 34 and 21. And if it look like I just woke up, I did. Alright, this is the book of Job, chapter 34, verse 21. For His eyes are upon the ways of man, and He seeth all his goings. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. So again, that's also another precept that y'all can use if it ever come down, like, the precept in your Bible. See, the Most High God, hey, He created everything. Like, He created the deepest depths of the sea. He created, like, as far as, like, what we call space or whatnot. So anywhere you try to hide, the Most High God, He still can see you. Because, like, hey, if my eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, then, and you know how the sun is, like, it can brighten up everything that's around us. Just imagine what His eyes can do, man. So the next precept we can go ahead and go to is Ezekiel 3 and 17. Because, like, we're always out on the streets or whatnot, trying to give our people warning as far as what they need to do in order to make it to the kingdom. And I know, like, they tend to think that the Most High God, can't see them, or they don't really care or whatnot, because they think that they just have some type of grace or whatnot since they in Christianity. But whenever we bring out things like these, we are always, trying to sit there and get a warning before they wind up being destroyed as well. So this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the words in my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. Because it can go into like brothers and sisters that's not in this truth, or it can also go into like brothers and sisters that's in this truth. Because we can give y'all warning too that's in this truth, man. Because ain't nobody like above like righteous judgment or whatnot, should I say, or correction. And it says, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. Because if you in this truth and you sitting there, I guess, trying to play both sides or whatnot, Most High God, we gave y'all warning, but y'all didn't take heed to the counsel. And it all ties back into the title of the story. Like, everything that's done in the dark will come to the light. So whether you hide it or not, that's why the Most High God, he gave, brothers spiritual discernment on how brothers are moving, man. Verse 19, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his way, from his wickedness, nor from his wicked ways, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So whenever we do give them warning or whatnot, and they still don't turn from their wickedness, we already gave them warning. So like, even going up to the previous verse or whatnot, if we didn't warn them, that blood will be on our hand. But if we do warn them, then we delivered our soul, but you still gonna die in your iniquity because you wanted to, sit there and play with the Most High God. So next precept we finna go to is Ephesians 4 and 7. It's the book of Ephesians chapter 4, verse 7. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. So even going into this, like, when we in this truth, we have grace or whatnot, but just because you doing that thing in the dark don't mean that grace can't run out. Because then you wind up, wind up happening to you. You wind up losing a family member or anything, because you wanted to be sneaky or whatnot in this truth and try to play the fiddle, and then the Most High God, sooner than later, he wound up revealing that thing, because he can put it on your countenance to tell on yourself, or he can just bring that out to the public. So next precept we can go ahead and go to is Titus 2 and 11, because you can also precept that with this, because we all say that we have grace or whatnot, but do we actually know what grace is? It's the book of Titus chapter 2 and verse 11. For the grace of God that bringeth salvation had appeared to all men, teaching us that, denying the ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, godly in this present world. So grace is supposed to also be teaching us or whatnot, what things that we should do and what not to do. Again, going back to the same point, teaching us not to do like things behind closed doors or whatnot. If you know that thing is wicked and you still do it, like, I don't know why you keep trying to play with the Most High God, because he will destroy you in the end. Alright. Next precept we can go ahead and get is, I know it's one of the classics, Romans 6 and 1. It's okay for like, the new brothers and sisters that's in here that, want to get that little precept game up or whatnot. It's the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Because what people don't understand is like, hey, the Most High God, He can kill you. Like, you may think that you getting away with it, but the Most High God, He can kill you right there on the spot. And everybody, they'll be like, dang, what happened? They might not know, or like later on down the line, they might find out, because the Most High God, He revealed it to them. But while you was trying to sit there and do things behind closed doors, the Most High God said, you know what? Since you want to play with your grace, I'm finna take you out. All right, next precept we can go ahead and give is Matthew 26 and 14, because we're gonna give an account of like a person that thought he was finna get away with something or done something in the dark, but hey, in the end, the Most High God, He revealed that thing. So Matthew 26 and 14. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 26 and verse 14. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priest and said unto them, what will ye give me, and I will deliver him unto you. So this is going into Judas, like before he had basically betrayed Christ, asking the people, like, what would you give me in return for Christ's head, basically. And he said, and I will deliver him unto you. And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. So basically, Judas Iscariot, he traded the king for 30 pieces of silver, man. And this is our people, man, because even when they go into like these celebrities or whatnot, all of a sudden their mothers die, or their daddies die, or their children die. That's because they giving up these people, or their family members, or whoever is close to them, up to these people. And then all of a sudden you see them blow up, or all of a sudden they become billionaires or millionaires or whatnot. And then it says, and from that time he saw opportunity to betray him. So he basically applied on the king or whatnot to sit there and see how he was gonna catch him up or whatnot and set him up. Verse 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahushua, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? So this is Christ and the 12 disciples. They basically finna celebrate Passover or whatnot. And he said, go into the city to such a man and say unto him, the master said, my time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples. So Christ gave him that answer when like they asked where we gonna keep the Passover. The king, he wound up letting them know where we was gonna do it at. Verse 19. And the disciples did as Yahushua had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. So they prepared for the Passover. Verse 20. Now when the evening was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. So, hey, Christ let him know off the rip. Hey, one of y'all in here is finna betray me. Like, trust me, I already know which one it is, but, I'm just let all the prophecy be fulfilled or whatnot. Because, hey, what's done in the dark will come to the light. Verse 22. And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? So everybody questioning, and they're like, damn, was it me? Or is it me? Verse 23. And he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. So basically, the Christ is saying, hey, one of my own is just gonna sit there and stab me in my back and deliver me up to these people. Verse 24. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him, but woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. So Christ is also letting them know, hey, destruction to that man that sat there and betrayed me, man. It had been good for that man if he had not been born. So Christ is letting him know, hey man, hey, it was better for you to not being born at all than to sit there and betray the king and think that you have a chance in hell to to be able to like repent for it or whatnot. But at the same time, the Most High God, He has His ways of doing things. But hey, I hate to be that man though. Verse 25. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said. So Judas over here acting like, hey, was it me, Lord? Knowing damn well it was you that did it. That's why, Yahweh Shai kind of got like, smart with him, or like, should I say, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll come back to it. And he said, Thou hast said. Verse 26. And as they were eating, Yahweh Shai took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it. So the word I was looking for was sarcastic. Yeah, I forgot the word, man. So we know what the story is going into. If you was in Christianity, you probably learned about this story. Something about, that's why we do like the communion or whatnot. So next precept we're gonna go ahead and get to is Jeremiah 1:5, because Judas he was trying to like basically sit there and be like one of them niggas that's always lying or whatnot. But he like in Jeremiah 1:5, let's go ahead and get it real quick. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. So Christ, He created everything, and He like, nigga, I knew you in the belly. So you think you can hide anything from me, man? And before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So like, if we know that Christ did all these things and whatnot, what chance do you think, if He can read your minds and do all these things, what chance do you have of trying to hide something from Him? If He know everything, like everything's predestinated or whatnot. So let me go ahead and go to John 13:27. Because it was a point in there that it don't say it in Matthew, but it say it in John 13:27. So this is the book of John, chapter 13 and verse 27. And after the soap, Satan entered into him. Then said Yahushua unto him, that thou doest, do quickly. So whenever it came down to Satan, because Christ even know like how Satan rode or whatnot. So hey, we don't know nothing really about Satan. We know he deceived, but as far as like how clever he is, man, Christ know that, man, because he the one who created. So what chance do we have as us being human beings, or flesh, should I say? All right. Next precept we're gonna go ahead and go to is Luke 12:2. It's the book of Luke, chapter 12, and verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So, Luke 12:2 is letting you know that anything that's like that was made or whatnot, hey, you cannot hide none of it, because hey, Christ created all these things, and it's like ain't no type of hiding place you can even go to. Even if you try to leave off this planet or whatnot and go somewhere else, you still ain't gonna be able to hide, man. Next precept we can go to is a precept forward, is Luke 8:17. It's pretty much saying the same thing. It's the book of Luke, chapter 8 and verse 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. So saying the exact same thing, like you can't hide any of these things. All right, shalom, brother Yaakov. Next precept we can go ahead and go to is Matthew 5:14. This is the book of Matthew chapter 5 and verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. So even on our everyday walk or whatnot, like whether you in the truth or if you are not in the truth, we are light. Like we are light to this world because anything that we do, hey, the other nations they gonna follow after us. So if you doing wickedly, hey, he gonna have these other nations doing it right after you. Like if you're sagging in your pants, hey, if you hoeing out the sisters, all these other nations gonna partake in it. Also, when it comes down to you being in the truth, when you got your fringes on and you like walking like in a godly fashion or whatnot, your light is still gonna be shown. So whether it's wicked or whether it's in righteousness. So even going back to the point, like everything done in the dark will come to the light, because even going to like what Genesis 1 and 3, like we know that at one point in time, like everything was dark, but then when the Most High God said, "Let there be light," matter of fact, we can go ahead and get it for the edification. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Going back to the title, everything done in the dark will come to the light. So, hey, with that I say shalom. Law we're gonna go ahead and get is Numbers 30:2. It's the book of Numbers, chapter 30 and verse 2. If a man vow a vow unto the Lord, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. So anytime that you make a vow to the Most High God, hey, defer not to keep it, man, because in the end, like even when you read Matthew 12:36, it said every idle word you shall give account for it. So if you don't keep your word, the Most High God, hey, he gonna have that in that book or whatnot, gonna weigh it out between the book of life and like the book of your life or whatnot. And he gonna show you that point where, hey, you vowed this and you didn't keep it. But Lord's will, you better hope that that good outweigh that bad. But hey, with that, I say shalom. I hope all y'all have a good day today at work. I hope that y'all was edified. Hey, shalom.